back in November of 2021, there was a big storm. You might have heard about it in California.
Okay.
And we were shooting that day.
Oh my God.
And some people questioned whether we would be shooting. I said, listen, this is tough as nails. We're going to work. Let's go.
Today, I am here with the one and only Mr. Phil Keoghan from so many things, but specifically Tough as Nails, season 4, kicking off the new year just right.
Yeah, just right out of the gate. Like
right.
we're right at the beginning of 23, and here we are with the new season. Very excited that's how we're going to start our new year.
What a perfect way
to. Cast is excited.
I was going to say, right? They must be. And it's such a great show for the new year because of, you get a lot of new year, new me kind of stuff. You get a lot of people who at this time of year kind of reflect on their lives over the past year. What do they want to change? What do they want to do different? And a show like this is really inspiring, I think, for a lot of people to see your fellow man, the people that you sit next to in the restaurant, the people that you're on the bus with, and they're out there and they are just busting it and doing these challenges and doing these and these big things in there, and it's really inspiring to watch.
I agree. I think we're going through a change where maybe there's a new appreciation for life skills, those who work with their hands, those who are really good at working at crafting wood or welding, doing cars up, fixing things. I encourage this new cast. I as a way of sort of promoting this new season. I said, hey guys, why don't you share some of your favorite DIYs, some of your favorite life skills? So I was encouraged by my team to start a TikTok account. I think I've got something like a staggering 102 followers. But anyway,
we're gonna get that up. We're gonna get that up.
I just launched it a couple of days ago, but yeah, I asked them to share some of their favorite little, hints on day-to-day things that we can all do. That they're great DIYs that are right now in this climate too. Mm-hmm. Just with being able to do stuff for yourself can save a lot of money, and it's so incredibly, satisfying to do your own jobs and get stuff done without having to pay for somebody else to do it. So, yes, I think also now, just because there are so many people leaving university without a sense of what they want to do with their degree. Obviously, education is really powerful. It's a wonderful way to open doors, but so are the trades. So is going to become an apprentice and learning a skill and a trade that is universal, that you can use anywhere in the world. A good mechanic, a good carpenter, tile setter, you can work anywhere with those skills. They're needed. They're universal.
Yeah. It's funny. I have a good friend who went to college to get a degree in I forget now. It's educational studies, philosophy, something like that. But what he's very, very good at is knife making. Happened to emerge. And just the other day, I was telling my wife, we live in Oregon. I was like, we should just move to the coast and fish for our own dinner. And because we're in an era where what you're talking about is so true, where being able to do it for yourself is just more effective, it feels like.
Yeah. Well, I love that story about your friend. And, there's a lot of companies that see the value in people who have kind of collected different life skills that maybe have gone to university and studied Russian literature or something. None of what we learn in the world is a waste. It can all be applied to other things. And so I love hearing stories like that, where people find maybe their true passion having followed another path, because maybe that path is a path that somebody else wanted them to follow. Maybe it was a parent who wanted to steer their child a certain way. And then that young child, gets to a certain point in their life and they go, no, I think I want to make knives.
I think that's
okay.
Yeah, that's in some ways a tale as old as time. That happens a lot. So season 4 of Tough as Nails. I know that fans are super eager. What, or if anything, will be different about this season as compared to the last couple?
Well, we went to Catalina for the opening show of season 4.
Okay.
We moved everybody across. Logistically, really challenging. It's only 23 miles off the coast of California. We think it'd be easier, but yeah, we moved our entire production out to Catalina for the first episode, for that opening episode, and it was, oh, I love it out there. Such a unique place, such a unique part of the world. And in that opening challenge, as you know, the very first challenge that everybody does is a challenge to determine 2 winners that will pick the 2 teams that stay intact for the entire episode. Mm-hmm. And they had to change out the mooring system for the permanent moorings that were out in some of them that were out in Catalina. And so again, it's always about trying to show the audience something new and different about the world that they live in that maybe they haven't considered before. They have no idea. And it's so interesting to find out, wow, okay, that mooring system is actually really complicated with all the different chains and swivels and hooks and ropes and lines, and they've got the wand so that the boater can grab it to come in. So you're learning something always on Tough as Nails, and that's something that we always try to do, that there's just an endless supply of incredible challenges. So you'll see V8s this season. You're going to see some shipping containers that are turned into amazing homes and offices. Oh, yeah. Like lots of grinding and cutting, and we get into the fishing industry. We get into nurseries with trees. We actually shot in a big storm. I don't know if you remember back in November of 2021, there was a big storm. You might have heard about it in California. Okay. And we were shooting that day. Oh my God. And some people questioned whether we would be shooting. I said, listen, this is Tough as Nails. We're going to work. Let's go. Anybody who's Tough as Nails in America, they don't sit at home and go, oh, it's raining, I can't go to work. They go to work. So I said, that's what we're going to do. So yeah, it's about opening people's eyes up and to new and different jobs. Of course, ultimately, it doesn't matter how good our challenges are, how well we shoot it. It really does come down to the 12 people that we put in front of the camera. Mm. And there's just such a great mix of people. Mm. Big age range all the way from early 20s to close to 60. So you've got that generational thing going on. I love that. I love seeing the young guns who don't have the hours in their hands and they don't have the hours of experience, but they've got all that physicality and that energy and that gusto. And then the older competitor who's got the 10,000 hours, who's really wise and who's used to working smarter, not harder, who maybe is not as fast as they were, but they've got those skills. And then it's that balance of, okay, is it the young gun who's going to outwork the older person, or is the older person going to outwork the young gun because they've got more knowledge? And so it's very competitive this season, and lots of heart and lots of humor. I mean, I promise you, in the first episode, you will cry and you will laugh a lot, and that'll be the same through the whole season. Lots of tears of joy and also just heartfelt tears as well.
Yeah. It's tough. A lot of times when you see those tough people, those very, very stoic and very firm people, and that heart that comes through, and that emotion, that vulnerability, God, it just makes it's like it touches you in a way that other competitions just don't always, if I'm being, respectful.
Yeah. Well, I think you bring up a good point. Some shows can rely on shock and like they create these moments with shock value. Mm-hmm. I think what's harder is to dig a little deeper and to try to get deeper into the story. And so we put a lot of focus on story on our show. We figured that we can't necessarily compete with all the big glossy shows as far as the shiny floor and the glossy outfits and costumes, and the other shows do that so well. And we just don't have the resources to compete at that level with those elements. But what we can do is we can get really interesting characters, and nothing can stop us from digging into that character and really understanding who they are, where they come from, what makes them tick, what's important to them, find those common themes, and have the audience really care about that person. One of my favorite characters this season is Jake Cope. He's a pipeline worker.
Okay.
Been trying to get him on the show since season 1, to be honest with you. And
oh, wow.
yeah, he had an injury, he had a scheduling issue, season after season, he just couldn't get him. Well, we finally got him for season 4. And he has a really interesting start in the first episode, where a lot of people maybe don't necessarily rate him as being one of the bigger contenders. And it really gets under, he really motivates him. So he's out to prove a point through the season, that he's definitely worthy of being a contender, or considered a contender. And he's the person that inspired the badges of honor for Tough as Nails way back when I was talking to him back at the first time, 17. He had his helmet. He'd just come from work, and there were stickers on his helmet. And I asked him what those were, and he said, "Phil, those are badges of honor. Those stickers represent the jobs that I've been on. 3 months here for this one, up in Montana, 2 months on this job way up north in North Dakota." So he really opened up my eyes to the idea that there's such an honor to be able to say that you've been a part of a job and been part of a collective and built a building and finished a pipeline, or finished constructing something. So yeah, I love him as a character. But we have real young ones, and it's hard. It's a very heartfelt season.
Yeah, it seems like, and you bring up an interesting point that I was thinking about, which was the show seems to have a really, really great way of creating competitive elements while also retaining those important team building moments and opportunities for people to really come together in a way where you don't feel like it's fake. It doesn't feel forced. It feels like these people are genuinely growing together, building relationships, while also understanding, like, hey, we are competing, but we're still friends. And what is it like for you seeing that up close firsthand?
Well, this was such an important part of the design and the format of Tough as Nails. There's a lot of shows, very successful shows, that are about individuals competing for themselves. And it's very cutthroat. You're either in or you're out. You're either on the island or you're off the island. You're either going to continue, or it's like no second chances. Boom. If you lose, you're out. And with a lot of the people that we cast on Tough as Nails, they're people that come from working in teams, working in groups. They work in construction gangs. They work on farms with a team of people. And we really wanted to capture that aspect of the working men and women of America, who, for the most part, are not just working for themselves to win for themselves. They're working for the collective. They're part of working with a bunch of people to get the harvest in, to get that building built. And so that's what inspired the 2 competitions: the individual competition, which everybody loves that, and we're competing for that Tough as Nails title. But then mutually exclusive and independent of that is this team competition. So you may have been eliminated from the individual, but you are an important part of a team. And that opens up the opportunity for redemption. And that is something that we have seen every single season. Somebody who's maybe eliminated early from the individual, who then comes through for their team, and in many cases beats out somebody who beat them in the individual. So those moments of redemption are incredibly powerful. And that bond, in many respects, and the content that comes from the team competition in many respects is more powerful, more memorable, and I think maybe resonates more with the audience than that one sole person going for that title and the big $200,000 prize and the truck and the belt. So I love that part of the show.
I completely agree with you, Phil. And I know that everybody's excited for season 4. Kicks off Wednesday night January the 4th. I'm already trying to skip ahead half a year.
Maybe that'll be season 5. But,
there we go. That's what it was. I was just speaking that into existence.
Good.
On CBS and Paramount Plus as well. Paramount Plus subscribers can also watch it live and watch the replay the next day, I think. Awesome. Phil, thank you so much for taking time to chat with us today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. And I just want to thank our hardcore Tough as Nails audience and look forward to seeing them on Wednesday, 9 p.m., 2-hour special. And then we go back to 10 o'clock for the rest of the season. And we'll finish with a 2-hour finale, bookending what we started at the beginning.
We're expecting a wild, fun ride. Thank you, Phil.